Hi everybody, you're tuned in to my Webby Sports Roundup show here on the lovely island of sunny Tenerife. This afternoon we are in the Palms Bar in San Eugenio Alto. We're going to have an absolutely fantastic afternoon. This is going to be a big story about West Ham Football Club, past and present, and what's happened over the past week or two. As you all know, winning the Cup 2 weeks ago in Prague. Super guest today, we have me good pal, Wagsy. Then we're going to have Sean Murphy on the show. And last but not least, the infamous #1 West Ham fan, Andy Swallow from Joyce's Bar here in Tenerife. Also on the show as well today is my usual #2, Liverpool fan, Terry, who does a lot of walking and a lot of work behind the scenes. So Terry, thanks for that. On top of the show today, we have a sports view a little bit later on in the show. We have the horse racing fancy. We have rugby league, rugby union. We've got everything that you could think of. And that's going to come on later in the show. So I think without further ado, let's get on with the show. You know what happens. If you like what you see and you like what you hear, subscribe. It's all for free. Webby Sports Roundup on YouTube.
My name's Rocky. I own the Winchester in Fanny Bay beachfront. Got this beautiful view behind us. We do all British food. We have breakfasts, lunches, dinners, steaks, ribs, pizzas, everything like that. We show all football. We have 9 screens, so we show everything from football, rugby, Grand Prix, anything like that that you ask for. And we watch Webby Sports Roundup.
Okay everybody, before we start all proceedings with a big West Ham theme today and all my guests with Terry, the big Liverpool fan, I've got 2 big announcements to make. Obviously today's Friday, tomorrow Saturday is the yearly event of the Palms Sports Bar here in San Eugenio Alto. First and foremost, a massive party with many guests appearing all day long with a Caribbean barbecue. It's a soul party from 2 p.m. onwards. They've got 1 or 2 spaces left. There's a minimum, I think, of 40, 50, 60 have already booked their table to come tomorrow. They're going to have a great afternoon. It's all day long, 2 p.m. till late. Now, while we're talking, Mark has told me something which is extra from last week. So if you bear with me a second, it's nothing like, it's all about being live, isn't it? We're going to find exactly what he asked me to put on. This is what he said. Let's have a look. Saturday, 17th of June, 2 p.m. We've now got Caribbean barbecue available, supplied by Big Nasty. I'm assuming he's a big restaurateur or somebody around the corner. He's doing all the food, so I think that's going to be probably from 2 o'clock onwards. We've got more guests happening. It's going to be absolutely fantastic today. Everybody's welcome. Kids all welcome. There's a big theme park, I think, here as well. So drinks are a great price. So here in the Palms Bar in San Eugenio Alto from 2 p.m. Don't be late. Right, now we've got a second announcement. I'm going to put my bins on, but you know I'm getting a bit older now. You know, everybody, it's my cancer charity auction coming very, very soon in August. Anyway, it's the annual event of FACT, Fighting Against Cancer in Tenerife. That's the company, legitimate company, that I'm raising all the money for, with over 200 people that do volunteer. It's on the 24th of June, which is a week Saturday, in the square at Sunset Bay. Entertainment all day, various auction prizes. There's a helicopter ride plus 1 big prize. It's a holiday in Tenerife. It's worth over €1,000. I think it could even be up to 1,600. Now, what you need to do, the last bid, I believe, is next Thursday, the 22nd of June. So what you need to do to make a bid by midday on that particular day, you need to go to www.cancertenerife.com and all the details are on there. If you go there a week on Saturday, I should be there. I'm doing a 5-10 minute talk with regards to my show and the cancer auction that I'm going to be doing. So that's what's happening. So in a couple of minutes' time, we're going to be going straight over to my 3 massive guests It's going to be a big West Ham theme. Take care.
Yeah, we're rolling.
All right, everybody, here we go. We're getting ready to it. Before we do the West Ham theme, we're just waiting for Andy Swallow to turn up. He's had a couple of things to do. He's just given me a message, so we're going to get on with the show. First and foremost, you know, we've got resident number 2, Terry, Thursday night, 7:45 kickoff. That's it. Sorry, Terry. That's it. Is it? All right, we'll go 8 o'clock. We're giving 15 minutes more. That's a starter. And then we got one of my very, very good mates in Kalasavaki. Big West Ham fan. We've got the man himself, Sean Murphy. How are you, Sean?
Good, Webby. Good
Nice
to see you.
to see you again, sir. And one of my all-time pals. He's into cricket, horse racing, West Ham United. One of my real muckers. The main man, Wagsy. How are you, Wagsy?
All well, Webby.
Nice
all
to-
well. All
nice to
very
see you.
happy man.
I bet
very
you're a
happy man.
But before we get down to the West Ham theme, before Andy comes on, what we're going to do, we've got a few items that I've been watching, reading, on my phone, etc, etc. Now, this man is a big cricket buff, big cricket. So let's get the cricket out of the way. Now, I saw today, and he probably already knows, Essex won today, son, didn't they?
Yes, Webby, we won quite comfortably. I
And you-
watched it this morning before I come down here. And
you beat Somerset,
we beat Somerset about 190 runs in the end.
196.
Sorry?
196, son, I checked it.
196. I said 190.
Yeah,
odd,
we're very
Webby,
close to
you
it, big
know,
man. Very close to it. Great win.
Excellent.
Bringing you up the table.
A lot of people were sort of umming and ahhing whether Wesley should have had the follow-on.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, with Harmer in the side,
Yeah.
he bowled most sides out, batting last on that wicket.
Yeah, sure.
So the fact is that we went in, hit a few more runs, set them a really difficult total. And in fairness, you know, 2 of their lads had a good go,
Yeah.
but it was just too much.
Weren't you there on the first day?
I was there on the first
Because
day.
you sent me a photograph, didn't it? Or
That's
a little
right.
video.
Yeah. Funny enough, the first game I saw last year, I went with a friend of mine then, and I said, Alistair Cook will score 100 because I'm here.
Yeah.
And then when I went on Sunday, it was the first game I'd been to this season.
Yeah.
And another friend came with me, and I said, Alistair Cook will score 100 today. And he said, what makes you so sure? I said, because he done the same thing for me last year when I was here. And the man is an absolute legend.
Legend, super.
And it was nice to see Critchley also score
Yeah.
100. So I had a great day's cricket.
Well done.
I met up with a great guy who does the commentaries for Essex called Don Topley.
Oh, yeah.
Who I spent a nice few weeks in Barbados with him back in the late 80s.
Stop dropping them in, Wagsy. Dear
Well,
me.
I can only show
entrepreneur,
you.
Wagsy. He's got a tough life. Your boys are watching this, you know.
I
Keith,
can only
Alan,
tell
Andy.
you what I know, Webby. That's all I
know.
can tell
Well,
you.
listen, Essex, right, that's gone. Come on, that's your love. What about the Ashes? That kicks off today, because obviously this is going out on Friday. So, do we win the toss, hopefully? Are we going to bat, or are we going to bowl to kick off with? What do you reckon?
I think whoever wins the toss will bat.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty par for course.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game.
Gotcha.
I don't think it's going to be by any means one-way traffic.
Yeah.
I sort of agree with a friend of mine, Paul Johnson, that it's going to be very, very close.
Yeah.
And I can see it going either way.
Yeah.
If I had to stretch, I would go 2-1 England.
Okay. Well, we did lose the Ashes. We got whitewashed 4-0, don't we? Down there. Is that whose phone's going?
That's mine.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Oh, we always got a phone interruption. It's like watching World Snooker, isn't it? With Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan, the phone's going, get it, mate, get it sorted.
Do you want me to get that while they're talking about cricket?
You're going to do a topless ladies dance competition, ain't you? Tell us what you keep telling me.
I'd rather watch the Birds football, mate.
I know, we can't have it all. We
can.
can't have it all. Right, listen, at the end of the day, we know we've got Andy Swallow's going to be in the building in 5 or 10 minutes' time. Then we'll bring the main man on. Hey, I know he is. I know he is. I know, I can see, but I just want to get through these little bit. Hey, oh dear. Oh, there's always one out there. Come on, Sean Murphy, get it sorted. Right, listen, let's talk about 1 or 2 little bit of transfers, I think. I saw today,
We're not talking more cricket. I thought, well,
cricket's gone, son.
I was going to get like into the
Cricket,
pink ball and white ball and red ball.
Listen, Wags has had his 5 minutes. That could have been 55 minutes. I've done well to stop him telling the truth. And everybody will tell me on that. Right, Milner. All right, he's left Liverpool. I've just read he's off to Brighton on a 1-year contract. He got a possibility of another one. What do you reckon? Sean? Give me Sean.
It's a replacement for McAllister, isn't it, really,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Age
yeah,
of-
a season is no future in Milner, but yeah, for a season, why not? A bit of experience. They're into Europe and Brighton, so yeah, I suppose
They do well. They
suppose
sell,
a good call.
They sell their big boys 40, 50,
Yeah,
60.
I know.
They bring in 4 or 5.
Yeah, I know.
Then
They
they're
do it
selling, won't they?
every year. I said that on the last show I was on. How good their transfers, what they do.
They do well, don't they?
Unbelievable, yeah.
Don't you think it's a step backwards for Brighton? I mean, for the last few weeks we've been on here.
Yeah.
I've said that Milner should get Leeds player manager if Leeds went down. I thought
Yeah.
it would be ideal for him.
Yeah, but I think it'd be good for the dressing room. You know, someone who's been there, done it, lifted a trophy.
Well, the top
You've got all
professional-
newbies at Brighton who's never been in Europe
he's
before,
got
so
Milan on there,
you know,
haven't they, still, but I
but
mean-
he might not even play, but just being around or stick him on the bench for the last 10 minutes.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was
for
offered
sure.
the coaching role, by the way. He was offered the coaching role at Liverpool, and he still thinks he can play at the highest level, which he can, but not 38 games a season.
Yeah, no.
Real Madrid, Jude Bellingham. I mean, that's gone through over 100 million. Was it 115? Probably 80 plus on add-ons and what have you. I mean, don't forget, he's only gone Birmingham to Dortmund, and then he's gone Dortmund to Madrid. Over 100 million, and he's only what 20?
Yeah,
Is
19,
he 20 years of age?
Yeah.
Who's this?
Jude Bellingham.
Who's this?
Tell me.
That's the old Birmingham chairman this
Oh,
morning.
Has he got a bit of a clause in there? Is there?
Apparently, I've heard the Chinese are going to get the money and they're going to do one with it.
Are they going to do one? Yeah.
Apparently, as soon as they win that money, they're off.
Well, you've got a lot of Chinese pals, haven't you? That's for sure. So you must know. Through the grapevine, son.
No. I've been told by a Birmingham fan, mate.
Have you?
Stuart, T2K,
Oh.
told me.
Yeah,
straight
no,
off.
I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know
So-
him very well.
Yep.
Some sad news came just before I left the house. Top legend for Chelsea, John Hollins, died this morning, 76 years of age. That's no age at all, is it?
Do you know what it is, mate? You know you're getting old.
Yeah.
When these people are dying, you
Yeah.
used to get them in your sticker books.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I used to get them every week in your
Yeah.
sticker book. Pack of chewing gum, 6 stickers, got John Hollins again. Who wants to swap him?
The trouble is, I'll tell you, talk about footballers, you know, non-smokers, non-drugs, if you know what I mean. 76. I mean, I've got 10 years to go. If that, you know, you just don't know what the situation is, do you? You know, he played a little bit for Arsenal, bit of QPR. He was manager and player of Chelsea, and he had 1 England cap. But again, a legend again, isn't it? You know what I mean?
He just
mate.
someone like John Hollins reminds me of sort of watching football back in the 70s.
Yeah.
You know,
Peter Osgood,
he was
all
just
the
one.
boys.
He was just one of the players about at the time. Wasn't he?
David
You
Webb,
know, yeah.
all of them, they were fantastic, weren't they?
Yeah.
Obviously, probably Baz's era as well. You remember those, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
Unbelievable.
That's when he had his three-wheeler disabled car parked behind the goal at Stamford Bridge. Do you
Is
remember
that what it
them?
was?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, the old Chelsea pensioners. And all
Always
that.
behind the back of the room.
Right, shout, right. Listen, Newcastle, looking for Maddison. They're taking...
can take him.
they could take him. Listen, he played at Coventry. I thought he was superb.
Overrated player.
I've met him. But obviously, Tottenham was after him as well, which is obviously not one of your West Ham favourite football clubs, I believe. But...
Hey, Dan Tools, mate, last year Leicester, don't forget Newcastle away.
Yeah.
He's a star man.
Yeah.
Didn't even turn
I
up.
saw it. I
I
saw
just
the
think
game.
he's average 40, 50 million for him.
yeah,
I think Liverpool got a steal with McAllister. If he's worth
I agree.
40, 50,
Definitely.
100%. I mean, what's Declan Rice worth compared to
I
him?
would have loved him at 35 million. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Pass it to Wagsy.
There
Got
you
one
go,
for Wagsy. Wagsy, Sahar of Paris. Now, PSG, I believe, are coming in for him. Now, you don't realise he's 30 years of age now. And,
Well,
but
in,
he's still a top goal
in
scorer, isn't he?
fairness, Webby, Sahar's been their best player for the last 3-4 seasons.
Yeah, he has.
A long way in front. I don't feel now he will go to a big Premiership side.
No.
I think those days for him are numbered now. I think he'll either go far abroad to somewhere like Saudi Arabia for this big money.
Yeah.
He's been offered money, hasn't he?
He's
Yeah.
been offered a lot of money to go there. He may just fade out, or maybe just go for a last hurrah at somewhere like, as you say, PSG or somewhere
These
like
old
that.
people, Ronaldo,
But,
they were after
um,
Messi, but obviously now he's gone to Miami.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just putting the bucks out, aren't they?
They are.
Rolling
They're
it
just
out.
putting money out. I mean, the Americans started it when the players were going there. Maybe they still had a couple of years left in the Premiership,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they went out there for the money. But then
Yeah.
who can blame them?
Yeah.
China,
I mean,
China tried it the other year, didn't they?
Yeah.
China
Yeah.
tried
Didn't
it.
Zaha, when he didn't have a little spell at Man United?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they didn't
yeah,
want him,
yeah,
they
he
were
did.
sent him
He
back
was
to
at
He was only
Manchester
young,
United
like a
a few
Pogba.
years
He
ago.
signed him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was only young, like
Yeah,
a
he was.
Pogba.
They didn't want him,
They
did
wouldn't
they?
make- no, didn't want him. We keep talking about this guy. and you keep bringing them, and you say, do you want him for free?
Sean's got him.
Harry Maguire.
You took me into that. I watched that.
You took Harry Maguire. Baz. Now listen, Terry thinks that Harry Maguire would do a great job at West Ham United.
No, there's 2 offers on the table,
Yeah.
right? One, actually there's 3. Sean wants him at West Ham.
No,
Yeah.
I don't. I was talking into that.
All right. Bobby wants him at West Ham as a forward, but best one was so far was Lacey.
Mark Lacey at Leeds United.
Corner flag, Leeds United. That's the best offer he's had so far. So
Oh, dear me.
I'll go to Cov, but he won't get in your team because you've got a 38-year-old at centre back, haven't you? Who can play a bit.
Yeah.
But he'll
never get
play against Mortal on Friday or the Dog and Duck, and he'll look half decent because he's playing against third division players.
But he says he wants to play for his. He still wants to play for his place at Man United. But
I want to play for Liverpool, but it's not going to happen.
yeah, but
you don't
Ten Hag,
think?
he don't want him, does he? That's why he's put him on the bench. Lindelof, he thinks he's fantastic. He's staying, and he wants a big man. Well, I think there's a guy from, is it Napoli? The guy from Napoli
Yeah,
looks
the,
they're after.
Korean fella,
yeah.
yeah.
Looks if they're going to get him. That's the one they're going after. Up to Scotland, bit of Brendan Rodgers. Obviously, he's got 7 trophies out of 9 when he was there. He left, obviously, to go to another club, and they're having the big talks with him today and tomorrow, I believe.
Yeah, I've got no comment on it really. I can't.
Well, Maggie's a bit of a Celtic man. What do you reckon,
I don't
Maggsy? Brendan Rodgers.
I mean, he
is
ain't
he
going to
back?
get the money he was getting at Leicester, that's for sure. I can't see his wages being
Apparently,
the same.
Sean, the contract they've offered him, Celtic, is the highest ever in their history as a manager. So he's going to be getting more than he got before he left.
Yeah.
So they're going to give him more, but half the Celtic fans want him back, and half don't the way he left.
Yeah.
So
My opinion on Brendan Rodgers returning to Celtic,
Yeah.
I think Brendan Rodgers can do a better job for a big Premiership club.
Yeah.
Now, I think at Leicester, they jumped the gun too early. I think if they kept
Yeah, I
him,
agree.
Yeah.
they probably would have stayed up.
Yeah, you're probably right.
I mean, none of us can tell, but
No.
you know, it's only my opinion.
Yeah.
I think Brendan Rodgers would do a very good job
Yeah.
at a Premiership club.
Yeah.
I don't really think he wants to return to Celtic because I do not think he can do any more than he done when he was there,
No, can only go backwards,
and he
can
has
he?
nothing to prove. So I would think that myself, he would be looking to go to another Premiership
Don't forget,
club.
they're in the Champions League, Baz, aren't they?
Yeah, they're in the Champions League, but let's be fair. It's all right, these people saying they want to manage or they want to play in the Champions League.
Yeah.
What do they want to play, 2 games or manage for 2 games? I know you get a little bit longer with the group stages, but let's be fair. These clubs do not win the Champions League.
No, I know.
So
You're
therefore,
talking the
it's
big boys,
they're in and out. And then
Yeah.
the next season, again, they're in and out. It's
Yeah,
like the okey cokey,
Yeah.
because that's basically what they do. They're
Yeah.
in, out at
Yeah,
the
as
end
you
of
do.
the day.
So they shake it
And
all about, that's for sure.
I think they might do,
Right.
Webby, depends.
Right, listen, back to Man United for a very quickie. This takeover bid is doing my head in. Every other day,
They're not
they
selling,
say
mate.
there's a deadline, there's
They're
a
not
deadline,
selling.
and there's no deadline. This, obviously, Arabian, they're talking 6 billion now. Take it or leave it. Do they want it or do they not? You know, you can't keep on, can you?
told you, first game of the season, the Norwich City scarves will be back out. They'll be waving them around again, especially if they lose the first game of the season. And we're seeing some fixtures come out today, which might be dodgy. And they're at home to Brighton. And last year, Brighton beat them on their own patch, didn't they?
Yeah.
So if it is true, the same fixtures as we've seen,
Yeah, okay.
then the old scarves be back out again. The Glazers won't be selling.
But with Man United, the longer this goes on, and the price going up as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know what the figures are, but 6 billion. I mean, that weren't 6 billion a couple of months ago, was it? There was
It was
a lot
4,
less
they were
than
talking
that.
4.
So there seems to be a bit of a bidding war going on, I think.
it seems to be.
So you're going to hold on, aren't you?
Yeah.
Why would you sell
Yeah,
when there's
I know.
other people pushing
All
the
right,
price up?
last question, but not least, before we bring Andy Swallow on, talk about West Ham theme for today. England got 2 European games starting tonight, away to Malta, and then we've
They're
got
only friendlies, aren't they?
Pardon?
They're friendlies.
No,
European.
European.
Qualifiers.
And then on Monday they've got North Macedonia.
Yeah,
And
two big countries there.
And Southgate is looking to bring the big boys, or the Man City, the Grealishes. I think they've got 5 internationals in that team, so he wants them all to be in the squad, doesn't he? He's not giving them a bit of time off to go on his jollies. If they haven't got enough, they should have enough there to go and do that, shouldn't they?
But everybody knew when these fixtures were, you know, people knew a year ago that these fixtures were this time of year in June. So,
Yeah.
you know, the better players should have prepared for it,
Yeah.
you know, and
Yeah.
so that's all I've
Okay.
got to say on it. But
Right, listen, we're going to have a minute break. We've had a good talk about ins and outs, what's happened, and then we're going to bring Andy Swallow on, and then we're going to have Sean, Wagsy, Andy,
Yeah.
Terry, myself, asking questions, talking about last week.
Yeah.
What a momentous
Yeah.
Wednesday night.
Yeah.
Okay, over and out, back in a minute.
Hi everyone, it's Tony Cotty, former West Ham, Everton, Leicester and England centre forward, and I always listen to WEBBY'S Sportscasts live from Tenerife. Make sure you do too. Keep up the good work, Webby.
Hi, this is Keith Robson here, ex-Newcastle, West Ham, Cardiff, Norwich and Leicester player. I always listen to WEBBY'S Sportscast from Tenerife. Okay, and I hope you do the same. Bye-bye.
Okay, everybody, as we say, we're on YouTube now with Webby Sports Roundup here in lovely sunny Tenerife, where the Palms Bar is San Eugenio Alto, and the main man has just turned up, Mr. Andy Swallow. Andy, there's me, Andy. How are you, son?
Really good, thank you, mate.
Nice,
really good.
Nice to see you, mate. On top of the show, don't forget, we've also got, who's been on for the last 20 minutes, we've got Wagsy, Sean Murphy, and my number 2, Liverpool, with Thursday, 8 o'clock on his shirt. He's going to hit me after this, I'll tell you what. And everybody knows why the Thursday. Sorry, mate.
Is that Liverpool from Plaistow?
Yeah, Andy,
Yeah,
I'm glad you're on
near
the
the
show
north,
now,
I
so
understand it, yeah.
I knew I've been waiting. You're getting smashed. You're getting smashed now, aren't you? Absolutely. Get him off. Right, listen, we all know, we've done all a bit already early doors. Now it's going to be a big West Ham theme. Last Wednesday, West Ham United got into the final of the Conference Cup against Fiorentino of Italy in Prague, and the three boys all went over, chartered plane, you name it, they went there and they had a phenomenal time. We're going to ask Mr. Swallow first and foremost, give a bit of a start to the day, working our way up to what happened to the game. Andy, please.
Yeah, basically we organised 5 planes. So I flew into London on the Monday, organised the orbit that we had 4,500 at the fan zone that West Ham couldn't do, so we did it outside the stadium. Then Tuesday morning, I see the first 2 planes off. Third plane come in the afternoon. Wednesday, the other 2 planes flew in. And then what could go wrong? 5 planes of us. Met up with Wagsy. And then we went and won that little cup, didn't we? The little, whatever it was.
But don't forget, little cups go to big ones, don't they?
Yeah, well,
the Conference Cup.
Something I didn't realise, and I think, Wagsy probably know more than me, but I think when we won the 65 European Cup Winners' Cup, we had a similar scenario, because it was a fairly new cup then that people underrated. I think it was 2 or 3 years old. And it looks like, again, and it went on to be a great cup, and it looks like this will go on to be a great cup. Roma set the trend. Bigger club than Roma, West Ham won it next, so it's set for Barcelona next.
Well, I think with Aston Villa, I think Aston Villa's in the Conference Cup next year. They finished 7th. So Aston Villa, under Emery, I mean, they have 40,000 every week. We're talking great, great clubs, great traditions and what have you.
I'd have my money on Brighton. They're not in it as well, I believe, aren't they? I think Europa. Or I'd have, if they'd have been in there, I'd have had my money on Brighton.
Yeah.
So,
it's Seville. He's won loads of Europa Leagues, and he's in charge of Villa now, isn't he? So
I think Villa are a great shout to win it. It'd be great for them to see them do it as well. Brilliant.
I think the Villa fans will be watching that game very closely on Wednesday night.
For sure.
Look at West Ham done. We can go and do this.
Yeah.
And like what you said, Andy, about that, the Cup Winners' Cup in '65. The Cup Winners' Cup to me was always the third trophy. You got the European Cup, you got the UEFA Cup. Then you've got the Cup Winners' Cup. There's always the third trophy. But listen, you talk to any fan, any club that's won it, it don't matter if it's a third trophy, mate. I'll take the third trophy in Europe every year. That'll suit me down.
Well, listen, I go to my club, Coventry. We won the League 2, then playoffs in Division 1. We've worked our way up. Doesn't matter. You win a trophy. We took 40,000 to Wembley. Absolutely fantastic. So it's the same with you, isn't it?
Yeah, and also it's the same in the league.
Yeah.
You have the FA Cup. You have your Championship's number 1 if you win the league, Premiership now.
Yeah.
Then you've got the FA Cup. Then the third tier is the League Cup.
Yeah, for sure.
But every fan, if he's honest, any cup that you win, to have that day out, whether it be at Wembley or, lucky enough for us, we were out in Prague. Liverpool won it and places like Rome. Those days for those fans are unforgettable. And It's something there's not hundreds of cups and leagues you can win each year. There's a very small amount, and there's 90 odd sides in the English league. Exactly. And any club, in my opinion, that is not what I would call the big 4, 5, should be going for these smaller cups, the League Cup and the FA Cup, because one, it gets you into Europe.
Yeah, for sure.
It gives your fans a reward for their loyalty and their support.
Yeah.
And also, if you can't get in Europe through the league and you can get through the cup, what a trip it gives your fans a chance to make, to go to different places and all go together and have a fantastic time.
Well, the dads, they take the children, their kids are 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years of age, and they grow up to be West Ham fans or West Liverpool, mate, or whatever the club is, you know what I mean? And they bring them on, oh, West Ham just won, I want to support them for the rest of my life now. And I mean, how many fans actually went, how many actually was in the ground in the end? Because you only got 5,000, 6,000 tickets, didn't you? 12,000 inside.
The actual count is 12,000 estimated in the stadium.
Yeah.
The sort of unofficial, official from the club,
12
to 14,000 in the stadium, 24,000 in the fan zone,
unbelievable.
5 to 10,000 left in the squares in around the bars, and they don't add in the Ironworks tours. They put 4,000 in their own club, and that was an extra 4,000 that no one acted. So it's estimated about 50-odd thousand West Ham made the trip, and compare that to, I know they say Fiorentina, which we said. A big club.
Yeah.
One, they didn't fill their end.
No, they never saw
and
that.
two, they only had 100 plus in the fan zone.
They
Gotcha.
sent their tickets back, didn't they?
Yeah, so that was a bit of I was a bit surprised because I do follow Italian football with Lazio, so I was surprised I was surprised they didn't fill their part. But same again, 2 big clubs in the final. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Europa League next year. So do we know who's in the Europa League with you next year?
I've seen it. It's frightening.
Oh no! I just thought of that one.
You're in it, aren't you?
Yeah.
We are indeed. Yeah.
There you go.
Andy,
What I was going to say to you before we move on is, it's always frustrated me, someone who supports, say, a team like West Ham or Brighton, Wolves, Crystal Palace, and whether it's the League Cup, FA Cup, their sole purpose is staying in the Premier League. And they get a draw like away to Stoke on a Monday night or away to Huddersfield or whatever in the cup, and they play a weekend team and they go out of it. And you think you pay your 800 or grand a season for your season ticket, and well, you know, you want to get to Wembley, you want to get to a final. So the fact that Moyes took it seriously this season, and he took it seriously last year as well, just proves take it seriously. You can win trophies, you know.
I'd like to see us take the FA Cup serious, though, in England.
Yeah.
I think it's money that's dictated it. Like for me now, people are saying, "Oh, West Ham won a Web Cup," but most of them are happy that they stayed in the Prem.
Yeah.
Exactly what you're saying. But to be honest, you know, and Barry's the same. Some of the times we've been better is when we have actually gone down, got rid of all the rubbish that we've had, gone to another final for a day out again, and come back up. So you know, you look at that league below now. God, that is it's getting tough to get out of. Yeah, you know, the Championship. But I'll tell you, I think what's happening, you know, exactly what you're saying, they're devalued, the Prem's in stages, groups of 6 or 8. And no one wants to take that chance of winning the FA Cup. For me, great winning the conference, brilliant, but I'd love to go and win the FA Cup. That would be my, as a West Ham fan, I was brought up on winning the FA Cup. Forget the league, was never going to win the league, Winning the FA Cup, and I think West Ham Football Club devalued the FA Cup themselves.
Well, don't forget when we were
Man United started it by not performing in it.
Yeah, they did.
And the Milk Cup, whatever it's called, the Milk Cup or whatever it is, Cup, until you get to the final, ain't worth 2 bob either.
They used to put the Rumbelows Cup.
But I want to see West Ham win the FA Cup next year. Europa would be brilliant, but for me as an Englishman and as a West Ham fan, let's go and win our own trophy, which is the FA Cup.
When we were kids, you remember, it was always Saturday after, BBC One, ITV, 10 in the morning, wasn't it? BBC One, ITV, 10 in the morning, whether you switch that side and they're on the coach, you're following them to they're having their breakfast and what have you.
It was like Friday and Saturday.
Fantastic, wasn't it?
One had one team on BBC, one had the other on ITV.
Well, it was nice to see this year. It actually went back to being a 3 o'clock kick-off on a Saturday.
Yeah, you're right.
When all the league games had finished.
And it's so hard about a bit of aggro. That dictated it. So, I mean, that was it.
I know, you might be right, Terry, but what I'm saying is it was the first time for a long while that it's actually been back at 3 o'clock on a Saturday, league games done and dusted, now we look forward to the FA Cup.
Trouble is, money takes over, Baz. You've got BT Sports, you've got all the ones over in Saudi Arabia, you've got Sky Sports, so you've got a game on a Friday, you've got 12:30, 3 or 4 games at 3 o'clock, 5:30, then Sunday, then Monday. So these pubs of like your Rejoices of the world that would always pick 8 games, you could think, I'll have the best 3. No, you can't. There's 3 or 4 games only now, and you're thinking, oh, that's a crap game. That's no disrespect to that 2 football club. That's a crap game. And then your pub gets less in it. And then you've got to bring staff on at 12:30, which is a big game. It's all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic for the armchair supporter to have all of these different times where they can just sit there, pick and choose.
That's what they're doing.
But for the actual fans that travel, when
for sure,
when they have to book trains in advance,
Monday night,
and
Sunday,
and then at the last minute, Sky changed the game from a Saturday to a Sunday afternoon.
You can't book in advance.
They can't get the value of travelling. They lose their money, and it's unfair.
Yeah.
Once these fixtures are set, they should be kept to that date. So it gives the people a chance to.
With Zaragoza, 200 lads booked in for Friday night football, and they changed it to Saturday, and they wouldn't give their money back, and they were flying over to Zaragoza and everything.
I think TV's dictating when these games are played, and go back to the old days when it was on a Saturday. You had a good win, and that you didn't want to go home. You wanted to go out and have a drink on a Saturday night because you ain't got work the next day.
I want to go and have a drink every Saturday, mate.
Yeah, but you don't want to do it on a Sunday night. I'd rather do it on a Saturday night.
Hello to the
Tenerife Hammers.
And
don't forget to
watch WEBBY'S
Sports Roundup. Harry Redknapp says it. Thanks, Harry. Cheers, fella. Cheers, fella.
Good man.
Hi, everybody in Tenerife. It's Brian Deere here. As you can see, I'm looking at the picture of the European Cup Winners' Cup final in 1965, walking behind Bobby. I hope this game in Prague is going to be a great night for the club, and the boys can bring a trophy home. We've been waiting long enough now. So to everyone in Tenerife there, enjoy yourselves, have a great evening, and hopefully I'll be going there. You never know, but maybe, they can surpass us and get the trophy home. Cheers, lads, up the Hammers.
Saturday night, they started doing a few Saturday night games last season.
7, 8 o'clock, they have.
Great. Saturday night, and even the old Sunday night game was on, which I thought was good.
Yeah.
Well, it depends the type of wife you got, or partner, innit?
Or girlfriend.
A girlfriend. Easy, Andy. Listen, go back to the '65 European Cup final. That's the last time you won the cup final. Back to it. Alan Seeley scored both goals, and I know you boys have got a very good friend called Brian Deere, who I have spoke to on the phone. He did a video for me, which was fantastic, and he missed off right at the end. That's his grandson did it for me. He never said WEBBY'S Sports Roundup, but I've got it. I rang him up a couple days ago. I said, Brian, you're going to be on it. He did, because he got a picture, haven't he, looking over his shoulder of when he's standing behind Bobby Moore. What a legend.
Did he mention, though, the 5 goals he got against West Brom? Didn't he hold a record at some stage? Was I right on that? Didn't he get 5 goals in a...
got 5 goals in something like
21 minutes,
Yeah.
something like that, didn't he? And it was
Hang
a
on.
record, wasn't it?
either side of
Two side, before and after half
That's
time.
right. And it was on a Good Friday morning.
He told me that when I rang him last week.
Yeah.
I never asked him.
Brian doesn't forget to tell you.
No, he was interviewed on a podcast. I saw him on a podcast yesterday morning. I'm going through, YouTube as you do, and as a young lad. And I'm like, that's Brian Deere. He's having a good talk with him. So he obviously went to the game and enjoyed it.
Do you remember when he came up my house, Bal, for the barbecue? He came up with the barbecue. He brought his family, didn't he?
Yeah, he brought over a load of pictures from that
65 Cup
65 Cup Winners' Cup final.
Awesome.
For Tenerife Hammers Bar.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't have a bar to hang them.
No.
So they are still round mine. But fantastic guy. And he actually was out in Prague. I didn't see him personally.
He was there, yeah.
Andy saw him.
Yeah.
The day before he went.
Yeah.
Can we all say hello to Brian on there? Brian Deere. Brian, how
are you, mate?
That's you, Mr. Deere.
All the best, Brian.
65 Cup final, walking behind Bobby Moore. Unbelievable quality. Well,
Top man.
But you had the other 3 players that played in the 66 Cup final, didn't you? Peters, Moore, Hurst. They all played in that, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, all 3 played in that.
Against 1860 Munich.
TSV 1860, that's right. Yeah.
Absolute quality.
And we went back out there in a friendly to some centenary.
Okay.
Their ground, wasn't it? I think?
Yeah, that's right. And we had two players. One who actually done quite well for us, called Stan Lazaridis. He made his debut. And the other guy was a geezer called Mark Boogers.
He was good, him.
He ended up in a nut house.
In a nut house. Did Andy put it there or what? In a nut.
I've caught him, yeah.
Did he get set off at Old Trafford?
Yeah, one game, wasn't it?
Oh,
And then
did he?
I think it was caught. I think the following game they phoned him to say, "Where are you?" And he
Yeah.
said he was at Harrods shopping.
Yes, right.
He was up the West End shopping and didn't realise he had a game.
Joking. Oh, unbelievable, yeah.
But just quickly on Brian Deere, just
Yeah.
so some people, Barry will probably remember, about 4 years ago we put on a sort of a legendsy game, sort of, but not all of ours were legends. I took a West Ham Legends team to Lazio,
Yeah.
and we did a friendly between the two sets of fans. We put 35,000 in the stadium,
Oh,
and
my
Brian
God.
Deere was our manager.
No way.
Yeah, he was our manager. I took Brian out there. He was absolute legend. You know, we took a few of the boys over. Had a great time. Martin Airwood and that come. We
That
had
is
a great time
unbelievable.
over there.
That
I was
is
just saying, but
absolutely
he was good stuff. I spoke to him just before he flew.
Yeah.
West Ham got around to giving him a couple of
But he
tickets.
can talk, can he?
Yeah,
you
mate.
said, Webby, I'll give you his name. I'll give you his number. So I rang him up. Hey, Webby, how are you? I'm what? Yes, Brian. I'll talk in a minute, Brian. He was going on. Anyway, he's all
Yeah, he's 80.
I know he
He's
is.
80. Yeah,
he's
unbelievable.
got it all upstairs, hasn't he?
Yep.
Top man, Brian. I'll talk next week. All right? For you. You know what I mean? Say no more. Say no more. I didn't realise that Billy Bonds was the #1 player of West Ham ever. The appearances.
Yeah, I think it.
Seven,
was
nine,
it-
eight.
He played his last game at 40. He was 40 years old.
799 appearances.
Yeah.
Lampard Senior 670, Bobby Moore, main man 647, and
Brooklyn can't be far behind.
Trevor Brooking 643. Yeah. Great players, weren't they? Absolutely.
Yeah, Billy Bond's my favourite player all time.
Yeah, I
He's
know.
I was brought up on Billy Bonds.
They are the West Ham legends.
He's got Azizi, some Italian fella. 600 games, that's got to be wrong.
What were you on about?
That's easy fella you signed.
ZZ Top.
No, Zaha. Was it Zaha? Juventus, wasn't it? We got him on loan from Juventus.
The last
He was
time
terrible.
you won a cup was the FA Cup, and I think, if I remember, you were there.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
79, obviously
was
you
all
were there.
there, yeah.
79, 80, Trevor Brooking.
Yeah, 13 minutes with his head.
Give me a little bit upside that one.
Well,
Remember.
I was only 17 at the time, but
Yeah.
I mean, we was in the old second division,
Yeah.
doing quite well. I don't think we went up that season, did we? I think we went up the season after, didn't we? Yeah, no, it was great. I mean, it's a long time ago now. But no, we was a good second division team. We had some good players. We had Devonshire, we had Brooklyn, we had Bonds, Lampard. Paul Allen was the youngest player ever to play in a
Paul
cup
Allen
final.
played for Tottenham.
No, after us.
that's what I'm
Tottenham
saying,
signed
what I
him
mean.
us, yeah.
Did Paul Brush play in that final?
No, he was sub.
Sub.
I think it was only one sub in them days.
Why Paul was
Paul Brush was
you're good
he
mate
was a
Alan
sub.
Devonshire, innit?
Yeah, he's a good mate
Devil.
of
Yeah, good
Barry's,
player
yeah.
with Devil.
Yeah, but no, it was against the so-called, mighty Arsenal, and John
Yeah.
Lyle. He
That's right.
out-tacted. Who was their manager? Terry Neal, was it?
Terry Neal was
Terry Neal, yeah.
The Irish guy.
Yeah, the Irish fella,
Yeah, gotcha.
And it wasn't an exciting game, but it was fantastic for us. The last team outside the top flight to win the FA Cup.
2012, you were in the sort of first division and whatever you, or championship then, and you beat Blackpool in the playoffs.
Yeah.
With Big Sam Allardyce was the manager then.
Yeah, Ricardo Vaz Tayden, he got the winner.
3 minutes from the end.
I don't think it was quite that, was it? Was
Yeah.
it quite as that, was it?
Yeah. You're a West Ham fan or not?
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, I didn't think it was 3 minutes. I thought it was about.
I just read it. Look,
I think it was about 10
as long as
minutes.
you're not
from the
being
end, but
computers, right?
Hold on, you've been checking up.
I have. I've been on. I thought, go get this.
We're
one,
good
go
at
say-
late goals in these finals.
There's
'cause
always late
if you
goals.
go back to the 64, when we beat Preston 3-2, Ronnie Boyce scored a very late
Ronnie
goal in
Boyce.
that game. When we had all the B's playing for the side.
Carl
Burn,
Best.
Braybrook.
Remember-
No.
was
You
a-
had Bovington, Brown, Braybrook, Byrne,
Okay.
Burkitt.
Brooking?
No, 64. Sean, come on, mate.
Bondi, yeah.
John Bond was right back.
John Bond, Norwich City,
Yeah.
Man City manager.
Budgie Byrne?
Yeah, John Bond right back, Jack Burkitt left back. Then you had Bovington, Brown, and you had Braybrook, Boyce, and Byrne.
So if you had Mark Bogers, he would have got a game that day, wouldn't he?
Gene Standard in goal, yeah? Standard in goal.
Standard in goal, yeah. So
Can I give a big shout out? I was taking a bit longer, but
Who to Bogers?
no, my big pal Chrissy Looker over in Lanzarote. You're going to see the video in a minute.
Hello Webby, Chrissy Looker here over in Lanzarote, radio presenter for Monster Radio here. Webby, just want to let you know what we're doing over here in Lanzarote. I'm going to turn my camera around now. This is the home of the Lanzarote Hammers. This is where we come and watch us beat everyone in sight. It's a great little bar dedicated to West Ham. That's our proprietor here, that's our Joe. Hello darling, she's lovely. Don't mess with her, mate, believe me. Just want to give you a quick, it's a bit dark in here, give you a quick mooch round of all that stuff here. That's my old shirt I donated here, old science shirt, Dagenham Motors. Look, loads of stuff here, absolutely loads, full of it. It's mad here for the games. Little bar, there's about 8 tellies in here, mate. Got some great stuff on the wall there. There's Sir Bobby and Pele here. Some great stuff, mate. Where we going here? Another one from '66 when West Ham won the World Cup. Remember that? Of course you do. In place, West Ham United. Proper West Ham bar this is. Mate, enjoying your show, enjoying your Sports Roundup shows. Absolutely love it, mate. I hope to see you soon, Webby. If I don't get over there, try and get over here. Come and have a glass of beer with me, mate. Good luck to you and good luck to the West Ham show on Friday. I know you're going to have a great one. God bless you, Governor. I'll see you soon, Webby. Ta-da, mate.
Lots of these to do. He's got 2 videos. We've already got 1 video put on the YouTube already, but this one's going to go on the show. Chrissy Looker, love you to bits. You know I owe you, and you have done a phenomenal thing over there. He's got his own little pool bar over in Lanzarote. And
well, the Tenerife Hammers have come over and see you, Chris.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Defo.
And I'll come over as well. They've got a landlady over there. I can't remember her name.
Joe.
Is it Joe? Joe. Because you've been there, haven't you?
No, I ain't been there. I spoke to her on the phone many years ago. I spoke to her on the phone and said, what we'll do, we'll get the Tenerife Hammers over to Lanzarote and we'll have like a weekend there, watch a game and that. And then
I'm allowed, don't you? I'm allowed.
And then you bring somebody to Lanzarote over to Tenerife. But it never happened.
No. But it's a great little pub over there. They wouldn't know.
Yeah,
they got all the memorabilia on the walls. Have you ever been there, Andy? No. And he's a proper, his voice, he's like a Ray Winston. Yeah. And he's done a great thing for me. Oh yeah, forget him. Forget that. Yeah. 100%. Listen, his daughter's old man scored the winner for him, didn't he? You can't knock him for that, can you, son? Listen, I'll tell you what I've done. Made a couple of items on the West Ham latest news. Hammers expecting the season ticket holder to sell out. Then they want more. Because obviously what's happened last week, season tickets. They're going through. What sort of money are we talking about? Big season tickets. I can tell you exactly how much because my mum's an OAP now. Hers was 350 quid. At West Ham, yeah? At West Ham. And my nephew's 25, 26. He was 690 quid.
And mine was 2.5 grand. So we've done.
You're in the posh seats, don't you?
Yeah. I think they range from about 300 all the way up. So, but there's different tiering, aren't they? There's different blocks. I just renewed mine. So. Yeah.
I've just read.
So my missus is watching. 250 quid.
Take a note off, darling. Alex Scott, Guernsey, Bristol City, 81 appearances, 5 goals. The Hammers are looking at him. Young midfielder.
From
who? Alex Scott.
That's the bird who does the Birds football. Arsenal.
Listen, I've checked it this morning, and it was on a couple of days ago. Alex Scott, he's a young lad born in Guernsey. He's a Bristol City midfielder. He's played 81 times, played against Coventry twice this year. Cracking young lad. They're looking at him. It's like anything. It's all talk at the moment, but they're looking at him to rebuild.
I prefer English players to be on.
English youth. He is English youth, under 18s, under 19s, under 20s.
I prefer us to sign English players because they ain't got to settling down into a new country. They ain't got to learn the language.
I didn't say he's Scottish, he's English.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I like West Ham to sign English players that's got the experience of a bit of English football. They've got the English mentality, ain't got to learn the language, ain't got to find a home.
Sean, I think this is the bird who does the match of the day.
Yeah, Alex Scott.
Forget it.
A bit like Bowen. Look at Bowen. If we can find a couple of more Bowens, how nice would that be?
And there's talk, Wednesday, I read this about getting rid of Benrahma in the summer for Barnes from Leicester City. A bit of a swap.
Well, I haven't heard that myself, Webby. Going back to this Alex Scott, we are talking about the Bristol City footballer, not the girl, Terry. What I can say is we have got a lad there, Downs, and I wouldn't think at this moment in time they'd be looking to replace another youngster with Downs in the squad.
You won't be talking big money.
No, you wouldn't be talking big money, but if you're looking for a replacement for Rice, Should he go? I mean, everything is definite until it's done.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but at the end of the day, we've got Downs coming through. I would think that any replacement, they would spend big money to try and get someone to fill in for Rice. Not that I expect anyone to be able to do the same job he's done for us, because he's been absolutely phenomenal. But I would think you're looking at maybe the guy from Southampton, Ward-Prowse, possibility. I'm not 100% sure, like Terry or Maddison. He seems to score these spectacular goals, but to me, he doesn't seem to give his heart all the time.
No.
Seems to sort of one of these players that when they feel like it, they play. So, you know, maybe Ward-Prowse could be the player to come in and fill Rice's, well, take his place. I won't say fill his boots, but I think you're going to find that this Downs will come through for the club. I think he will come through.
I don't think selling Rice is a be all and end all. If he's got to go, he's got to go. Because if you look at it, we had our best season.
Yeah.
And Rice has played nearly every game.
Yeah.
You know, we haven't took the world alight with Rice playing in the team.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Our club will sell him because they're greedy.
Yeah.
That's fact.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the other factor you've got to look at is if we don't sell him now, he might get injured next year and he ain't worth 100 million.
No, exactly. I agree.
Right? And I think as a West Ham fan, it's about our football club, it ain't about Declan Rice. We're called Declan Rice FC. So, thank you very much, Declan Rice. If you want to stay, brilliant, love it. I don't think it's up to you.
No.
I think if it was up to him personally, he'd probably stay. I think the club are going to cash in on him. Move on.
I agree. I think
we
the owners
support
will
West
say
Ham
that.
United. And
I
I think
agree.
there's players out there who are as good, if not better, than Declan Rice.
For half the price. For half the price.
Yeah. And also, it might get us to play a slightly different way.
Of course.
Because we didn't work this year. It didn't work this year.
No.
Not at all. We've been playing every game.
The setup has been poor, hasn't it?
It's been poor right from the team.
It's not
So,
been good.
you know, and I think over the years, we've seen all our best players sold. So it's nothing unusual. I think I'll be unhappy if Paqueta went for the season. I think he's the key. Yeah. If they pronounce it right like that.
His feet, he's come on now, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I call him Paqueta. It's easier for me than calling him
We like call him
Paqueta. Paqueta. I like his sounds continentally, you know.
And it looks like the guy you bought from Italy, Scamacca. He looks as if he's got Roma on loan.
He's been injured though, hasn't he? That's the problem.
From January, he was
He's
injured.
been injured.
From January.
Yeah, well.
Has he? But even when he played, though,
He's been shopping with what's his name?
I didn't think he looked that clever.
Put it this way, Roma is probably in the top 3 clubs in Italy.
Italy, yeah, for sure.
Why don't they buy him if he's that good?
Exactly.
Why want him on loan? With all the money.
They ain't got the money, mate. All Italian clubs are skin.
In fact, for West Ham, 5 million.
All Italian clubs are skin. They ain't got no money at all.
I think just about Declan Rice as well is that I think he's got to be careful where he goes as well, because he's saying he wants Champions League football. Does he want to play Champions League football, or does he want to win the Champions League? Yeah. Yeah, the play. I mean, going to Arsenal. Listen, Arsenal have had a fantastic season. We know that, but I don't know. It's not a done deal that they're going to play it every weekend.
To be honest, Arsenal Champions League, West Ham Europa League, Arsenal all day long. You know, as if we're talking about not because we're West Ham fans, but as a footballer that wants to play on the biggest stages, West Ham Europa League, Arsenal Champions League, Arsenal all day long.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Man City, Liverpool, all day long.
If you get the 100 million or whatever they're being touted, do you think Sullivan's obviously goal's not with us, will reinvest that in the team or keep some for himself?
No, they'll do some other dodgy deals. There'll be half in the bank, half it'll go back to pay their loans that they loaned us.
This is what I've been reading into this week. Apparently they're due a dividend. The Gold family and Sullivan are due a...
And then West Ham will sell the club anyway. So, you know, I wouldn't take a lot of notice of West Ham. But personally, I think there's other players out there. Maybe time to have a shuffle up.
There's a lot of free transfers on the market this summer
There's
as well.
players out there, mate. There's some great players out there. That Prowse, whatever his name is,
Prowse would be a great sign.
He looks good.
Liverpool's sniffing around him now, apparently.
Yeah, I like him.
I've heard that today as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It must be bad if Liverpool's sniffing
Exactly.
around him.
He wants
He's had an
Champions
awful
League.
season, hasn't
He don't want to play on a Thursday, son.
You know that you're talking about.
I keep digging into
And
you, big man.
Can I
You
just
don't
say
wanna
one
play
thing
on a
as well? I
Thursday.
did think because Liverpool lately do like slow, big lumps, don't they?
Yes.
So you've got that slow, big lump at the back that used to be quick. Maguire would be the same as him, wouldn't he?
Do you know what? We might take Maguire mid-table too.
Because that big one at the back who's quite slow now, what was his name? The Dutch geezer.
Did you play for Celtic?
Virgil.
Yeah, he's the same. So you'd have 2 slow lumps, wouldn't you?
He was lightning strap. Pickford took him out. England's #1.
Yeah, I just don't know.
Right, listen. While you've got that, now listen. You've been here many years now. I want you to.
Well, here on the island,
you've been here a few years on the
alive.
island now. Now, listen. You've got a couple of pubs.
Yeah.
I want you to tell the people where they are, what you do, what's happening Friday night. Go and sell yourself.
Yeah, okay. We've got 3 bars on the island. We've got the Joyce Bar, which is the Tenerife home of the Tenerife Hammers. Been so for the last 2 or 3 years. If you're a little bit younger and you like a night out, we've got Sugar Reef, and we've also got the radio station and a little bit more of a chill bar in Rejoice, where it's the first time that all of us that Tenerife Hammers that have sat over the year together, that we've all that went, it's the first time we've actually sat there on Friday night and actually have a laugh throughout what happens, because I don't know where he ended up, and I don't know where Wayne ended up. So it's a great chance for us to get together and have a little chat, celebrate our win. We keep celebrating also. I think by the end of it, you keep hearing West Ham are massive. You'll keep hearing about our trophy. I think you'll all be sick of us. So Rejoice, Joyce, Sugar Reef.
And this Friday night.
Yep.
You've got I did see on somebody sent it to me.
Yeah, got a singer.
Yeah, and that's Rejoice's Wishes.
All at
Where
Rejoice.
It's
San Telmo, Vista Beach, first floor, overlooking. See the sunset. Come down. Everybody's well. You don't have to be a West Ham fan to come down. But if you like West Ham is Massive, the song, come down. You'll hear it more than once.
And have a bit of fun, yeah.
And have a bit of fun.
And
then back to Mick's on and obviously as well, I do have to laugh because obviously it's a great Leeds pub here. I know Palms. Yeah. When I was having my house redone, I stayed just up the top.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the football. I kept hearing goal, goal. I think, what is that? I was on the balcony looking out, and I think you turned someone like Chelsea over 3-0, something like that. You turned a big team over. Is that right? 3-0. I was up there and I was thinking, but and again, same again, big support here at Palms for Leeds. Yeah.
No.
It was last season, yeah, mate. It was last season. It was at the beginning. No, they might at the end.
I'll let it for you.
But I'm just saying, it was nice for the footballs, yeah. Anyway, Angel's over. Anything would you like to ask me?
Yeah, no. Before. Wait 2 minutes. Before you go, listen. I've always been interested about. I did say to you, can I ask you the question? You said, Webby, you can ask you. Not a problem. Because I've always asked Wagsy, and he's given me a bit of insight. And I always remember you brought a very good friend of yours called John Turner.
He was here last week, just gone home.
Oh,
went home yesterday, John.
I always remember, John, you brought it into my pub, and me and him got on like an house on fire. Yeah. Met him a few times, met him up here, had a few sherbets.
Lunatic.
Always remember. And he always mentioned you and so forth. Yeah. Just give me and the viewers an insight of the ICF, where it started and where it is now, please.
Yeah, I think we can reverse it backwards. Where it is now, it's sort of embedded in people's memories of whether you liked it, didn't like it, whatever. For us, I was probably a member of the Intercity firm around about 76. It was about 30 of us, started in the corner of the South Bank. At an early age, we learnt to respect the elders and the things. Got a really good hiding by the Mile End, because we was being leery and beat their young uns up, so they beat us up. So I was brought up quite strict by hooligans, if that makes sense. Yeah. That culture. Formed the Intercity firm in 1978. Run with the firm probably most of my life. Spent a lot of court cases. Yeah.
And the Intercity, that was the train, wasn't it?
Yeah, basically what it was, we used to go on the specials, and I think Barry would have been going around about the same time. Yeah. And we used to go on the specials, and you couldn't get home. No. And then one time we was on the train, and these trains used to take ages to get home. And there was an express train going on the other side. So we all jumped off, run round, jumped on that. No. And then we thought, we like this. Yeah, yeah. And then out come, I'm not going to say, I think Barry, this is when the Jimmy Savile, when the Jimmy Purcell come. I don't like to say the Intercity firm connected to the Jimmy Purcell, but we had the Purcell tickets where you was under 16, buy an adult, get 2 kids free. Okay. Started from there.
Fantastic.
And we did all the catalogues, all the... Yeah. I didn't realise my mum used to go in and opened up the boxes and everything was falling out where we took all the vouchers off.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so the Intercity firm, you know, we had a reunion the other day all together. It was good to see the under fives and the Intercity firm.
Lovely, yeah.
You know, for us it's 40 odd years, 45 years.
Fantastic.
And some mates.
And some of the big boys, obviously.
Bill Gardner.
Yeah, I've never met Bill. I know
Bill, good stuff.
Wags just told me about Bill.
Yeah.
And Cass Pennant, obviously. That's another one I've seen or listened to or whatever the case. And you get some great guys.
Yeah, but Bill and Ted and
Yeah.
you know, some good ones. You know, Wagsy goes back to their sort of era.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
Bill's good. I still see Bill. I was with Bill the other day. Wasn't well. I hope you're getting well now, Bill. Yeah, but one good thing with Bill was when we was, you know, I go back to the Mile End and there's a quick story and I'll wrap it up about the Intercity firm.
Okay.
I get a lot of people come up to me and go, oh, you're, you know. Anyway, so I goes in the dry cleaners in East London. I was putting my stuff in. The fella reads me thing. And he looked at me and he goes, my firm's harder than your firm. I thought, here we go.
Yeah.
Here we go. Could be Millwall, could be Tottenham. So, yeah, go on then. I said, who are you? He went, Mile End. I went, I'll make you 100% right.
Morning all. Now, I just showed you the pictures of the new ukulele, tribute to Sir Bob. Now, whenever I pick up a West Ham ukulele, of course, the temptation is to play bubbles, and you can't just play it every time. So I've written a little West Ham ditty to play on a new ukulele, and it's called West Ham Through and Through. And goes like this. Born in the East End of London, and I'm West Ham through and through. Now you might follow some other team, well I guess that's up to you. But I'll keep blowing me bubbles and wearing the claret and blue, 'cause I was born in the East End of London, and I'm West Ham through and through. Now some folks follow the Arsenal, Tottenham and QPR, Millwall, Charlton and Chelsea, but I don't know who they are. Orient, Palace and Fulham, and I don't know about you, but I was born in the East End of London, and I'm West Ham through and through. West Ham through and through.
Radio station, that's the other thing.
Yes.
You got your own radio station.
Yep.
Which is
Centre Force Radio.
Centre Force Radio.
We broadcast in London.
Yep.
190 odd countries around the world. We've just launched here on your FM dial, 89.1 FM.
Gotcha.
Centre Force Canarias.
Okay.
We're based in San Telmo in Rejoice.
Okay.
We run alongside Power On.
Oh yeah.
What's his name?
Roscoe.
Wolverhampton Tango Man.
Roscoe.
One
Tango Man.
One who wears the orange shirt. Orange shirt, yeah, the
Roscoe.
orange shirt. Oh yeah, that's him, Roscoe.
Oh, Roscoe.
With a T. And AD's good stuff. He's Liverpool. AD's good stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
Fantastic.
we run it out of there. So we are on the 89.1 FM.
Okay.
Broadcasting from London and
Yeah.
around the Canaries.
Fantastic.
Around
In
Tenerife.
the 80s, I used to listen to Centre Force on the old pirate radio
Yeah,
station.
that's what it
Did
is.
you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we-
89, yeah.
We was formed in 89, May 89.
Absolutely fantastic.
And from pirate now to legal DAB in England,
Yeah.
right across the country up to the northwest.
Used to go down here and run records, get me tunes.
Yeah,
Walthamstow and all
Woodstow,
that.
Walthamstow, yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're all
Back in the
back.
day.
That's when vinyl was.
Oh, still got all my vinyl, mate.
And
It's in
just
my
saying
garage.
about vinyl, those who do like vinyl records, 29th in Rejoice, we're doing a vinyl only night where we're inviting all DJs that's got vinyl to come up and play your vinyl.
Well, I'm not a DJ, but I've got thousands of vinyl.
People who've got records like
Yeah.
Tell to come up.
Superb.
Proper DJ, I bring the records.
That's it, bring your records.
Right, before we finish, there was Chris Todd came up and said that let Sean Murphy do this one with regards to what was Toddy saying?
Yeah, I don't know nothing about it. It's the first I heard.
West
when he
Ham
just told me.
against.
Yes, we are.
CD Tenerife. Do you know?
Oh, give Wagsy. Yeah, go on in, Wagsy.
No, both teams happen to be training in Alicante.
That's Tenerife.
Yes.
Tenerife and West Ham.
Okay.
At the end of July.
Okay.
And they're trying to negotiate between the two clubs to have a friendly. So we have in Alicante area. We don't know where it will be.
Okay.
Obviously, they're, I suppose, policing and ground capacity, etc. But that's yeah, Benidorm would be great because I've got a couple of pals out there, Mouldy and Louis.
I know you have.
And maybe we can all get put up in their hotel, get their sales up. Yeah, it'd be really good. It'd be really good. So, you know, we just keep you informed when we hear anything.
for
And
sure.
obviously, Tenerife Hammers, Andy will put posts up on his.
Okay.
Yeah, what,
Super.
the dates,
Also as well,
etc.
the Friendly up in Tenerife, a lot of them, their English club is West Ham as well.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
from what I can read, Tenerife are in Alicante 26th of July till the 4th of August. So it's got to be in that block. And West Ham on the 29th of July are playing Rennes, everything out. So I don't know whether West Ham will go from Australia back to London, London to Rennes down to
Big trouble.
So it'll probably be after that day. I would have performed 31st, 1st of August, my prediction. Okay, I'm Andy Swallow. I'm one of the owners of Joyce Bar in Tenerife, with the owner of Tenerife Hammers. Don't forget, we also got Reed, Joyce and Sugar Reef, and you can always catch us. Don't forget, catch this on WEBBY'S Sports Roundups, the one to beat.
Start with yourself.
Go on in.
Give me your mic, there you go. Right, Baz, favourite current West Ham player?
Favourite current West Ham player? Antonio.
Antonio. Same to you, mate?
Up until this year, and that last week, Paqueta.
Paqueta, okay.
For now.
Favourite all-time West Ham player?
Bobby Moore.
Only one, Billy Bonds.
Oh, that's a new one. You had Devonshire, didn't you? Yeah. All right. Best West Ham game you've been to?
Last week.
Well, forgetting last week, no, in fairness, the best West Ham game I've ever been to was when we beat Eintracht Frankfurt 3-1 at Upton Park.
Yeah, I was there that night.
Right, okay. Same for you, Andy, same game?
No, do you know what? I'm going to change it now. I'm going to change it to a real mad one. We got beat 4-0 Dynamo Tbilisi in London.
Paul Goddard scored out there,
And we went there.
And you won 1-0.
And we won 1-0. And
Yes.
to beat them, I don't think they'd ever been beaten.
Yeah.
As an experience that,
Yeah.
Eintracht Frankfurt, massive. And obviously, you couldn't beat the other day.
This might come on to that now then. Best away ground you've been to, including Europe, if there's a European one you know?
Best away ground, I think, is Anfield.
Oh, he knows his football, Barry, I'll tell you. You've said that.
Baz, you doing me in, you know, Baz?
I tell you, I was quite impressive, as it hurts to say. I think Tottenham's was quite good.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it, Pam?
Yeah, I
I've
think
not been there,
Tottenham,
but I've heard it's...
and I think Main Road as well, the new Etihad.
Right.
Yeah, probably them two. As stadiums.
Right.
The stadiums.
This is what we're looking forward to. The team you dislike the most.
Manchester United.
No way. Wagsy, I can't believe you said that, son.
Andy?
If I said any other team,
Yeah.
my granddads,
Yeah.
would come out of their grave.
Yeah.
My family would disown me,
Yeah.
and my mates would never talk to me again. Millwall, million miles. No, I can't even say that. Millwall, only Millwall. That's the only one rivalry. Millwall,
Tottenham, right, okay.
by far.
Right. If you've got one, your favourite second team?
The only team I follow, is, apart from West Ham, is Tenerife.
Right, okay.
I've got two, so I'd be Tenerife or Lazio. If it would be in...
Is that because of like Di Canio and that?
Yeah, because I follow Lazio and I've been a lot. But if it's really mad, my actual second team, if I was doing on English, you're not going to like this, Man United.
Ooh.
Tim,
Mr. Andy Swallow. Smashing Wagsy on that.
can we edit that bit, please? Can we edit that bit?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Right, here we go. Fans you dislike the most?
I don't know.
Yeah, well, same answer as the club, isn't it?
Yeah, I know it is now.
Now, I'm going to have to say, Tottenham.
Right, okay. Andy?
Well, actually, because I don't like Millwall, I actually don't mind their fans. They're very much like us.
Yeah.
In modern day football, there's only one you can't like, it's Tottenham.
Right,
Is
okay.
it?
He
Tottenham.
calls them the Spuds.
Yeah,
The Spuds.
yeah,
Right.
whoever you call them.
What player would you like to sign if you could sign anyone?
In your own time.
De Bruyne.
Okay.
Good shout.
Declan Rice.
120 million next season.
That's for his second team.
I think the same again. If you look at positions, you know, you've got to have that big lump up front for Man City, and
Right, okay.
you've got to have Ireland. So I'll go with Ireland.
Really quickly, what manager would you like to have if you could have any manager?
Pep.
Pep, okay, yourself?
Taking that Pep won't come to us, I'd like to have seen. I don't mind David Moyes. It's not really my style of football. But if we have to replace David Moyes, I think Tuchel would have been a good choice.
Right, okay. In their prime, Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
That's 6-1, by the way.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, 6-2.
Me and Andy's
Right, last of all, you've already got him, I think, right? Would you like Harry Maguire in your team? Yeah.
Hard shout, because he does nothing wrong for England.
Against Dog and Duck, yeah.
Yeah, I know, against Dog and Duck, but
So
at
he
the end
bought
of the day, no, I would go a yes.
That's 2 yeses. Actually, 3 with Bobby.
Yes, I'd have him.
Yeah. What, on the bench or?
No. I think Harry Maguire with the right player around him, I think you'd have him in our football. I don't think there's many much better. I think he's getting a little bit of a rough
Do
deal
you
there.
plan to be in the Championship in a year's time and have him in
We
your
tried
team
it this year, didn't we?
I mean,
Think on about. We tried it this year.
cheers, mate. Yeah. That's right.
David Moyes watches on. Ben Rama focused. Ben Rama scores!
Boys, what can I say? Absolutely, we've had a fantastic afternoon. The 3 boys I wanted on my show this year, and I've got them all on together. Terry, as usual, thanks very much. And thank you for all the walking around and do everything you do behind the scenes, which people don't see.
They do trainers out the company.
Yeah, we'll have that. Tim, you better get that. Mr. Murphy, thank you very much indeed. Good to see you. Hope you had a great week last week, and glad to see you back. Wagsy, one of my best mates ever. Wagsy, thank you very much indeed. And Andy Swallow, there's me and there's me eye. Thank you, Mr. Swallow. Absolutely brilliant. Loved it. We've had a cracking afternoon. That's the boys today. I'm going to do a couple of minutes in a couple of minutes' time when we have a break. Webby Sports Roundup here in sunny Tenerife. Just as we're coming to the end of the show, massive West Ham theme this week. I've had a fantastic afternoon with my special guests, Wagsy, Sean Murphy, and one of the main men of Tenerife and West Ham fans, Andy Swallow. But before we go to the sports views and the sports from the last week, Wagsy forgot to say, but we're going to do it now. If you look up in the top, we're going to have a great photo for last week when they were at Prague and when they beat Fiorentina, obviously in the Europa Cup. It wasn't the Europa Cup. It was, don't forget, the Conference Cup. Next year they're going to win the Europa Cup. Then he was with all his family, and we want to say hello to his grandsons and his sons. We've got Wagsy, the main man, granddad. We've got Keith, Alan and Andy. That's his 3 boys. We've got his grandson, Callum, and his nephew, Terry. One fantastic photo, probably never be seen again. So, Wagsy, there's your talk, there's your boys. I've said hello to them for you, okay? Absolutely superb. Well done to West Ham United. Right. Football news, as we all know, apart from last Wednesday, it was the Conference Cup. We had the Champions League final, and a big well done to Manchester City for winning the treble after beating Inter Milan in the Champions League final last Saturday evening. And I watched it in a 3-all shoes. Great game. Well done to the boys. Grealish, he's a funny boy, isn't he? Loves his bit of partying and whatever. Lots of videos, as you see on YouTube. And a big shout out to the Kalasovaki faithful boys of Brian, Mark, Andy Black, and not forgetting Stu and Mark from the Hops and Grapes, all big Manchester City fans. The only downfall they had, as I said before, was Kevin De Bruyne came off early with a bit of a hamstring injury. So he could be out at the start of next season. But does it matter? Your squad that you've got, enough players to bring in. And the transfer news is going to be big for you, ingoings and outgoings. And as we know, today's Friday, so obviously yesterday morning, 9 o'clock, it was the Premier League fixtures that came out. Let's find out who you have got. I think you've got Burnley away on a Friday night to start the season. So Burnley, the champions of the Championship, and Man City, the champions of the Premiership. Sky blue, just like Coventry. So well done to Manchester City at the Etihad. Right, further ado, let's go on to a bit of sports news. We'll always do a bit of sports news in the last part of the show. First and foremost, we've got a bit of tennis. Djokovic from Serbia wins the 23rd Grand Slam, record-breaking with the French Open triumph. Also, Andy Murray boosts with a Wimbledon seeding after winning the Surbiton Trophy in Surrey. He's coming back. He's had a couple of injuries, and he's on his way back. Let's see what he can do in the at Wimbledon next month in July. Okay, that's from that. We've got a bit of golf news. Don't forget the US golf started yesterday, Thursday. So hopefully McIlroy, who hasn't won a major for quite a long time, let's see what sort of form he is in. He's dipped a little bit lately, but I think he's just going back to form. So he'd be worth a little gamble on for this US Open for this weekend. Started yesterday and it finishes on Sunday. Also last weekend, saw the Canadian Open. Saw Nick Taylor, a local hero over there in Canada. He denies Tommy Fleetwood with a dramatic edo in the playoff with a 70-foot putt to take the first prize of $1.62 million. Where's this money coming from? Eh? But don't forget, it all sounds good, but you've got to be in the top 10, top 15, top 20 to win the big bucks. Do a bit of Betfred Rugby League, as we always do every week. I'm a big St Helens fan, as most people know. And as the title hots up, there were wins for Salford, Lee, St Helens, who beat local rivals Wigan last week, Warrington and Catalans, and Wakefield had their very first win of the season. But it's still Wakefield, Warrington and the Catalans are joint top. It's going to go to the wire, but watch the Saints, they're starting to creep up. Right, cricket. Yeah, spoke to Wagsy today, and he thinks we're going to win 2-1, the Ashes, after losing 4-0 in a whitewash a couple of seasons ago. So, I don't know. Fingers crossed, you never know. Let's see what happens with the Ashes starting today. What else we got? Yeah, horse racing. This is what it's all about. You're all waiting for your horse racing fact of the week. We did give Madara, it did Lee Sobok, but it was favourite in the morning. Then it drifted out to 130. And that's the reason why it came last. I think last to 5 or last to 6. It was up there all the way. It just never stayed, did it? Never stayed. But the point's great. You've still got 3 from 7. If you've had a fiver on each race, you're still £52.50 up. If you've had a tenner each race out of the 7, you're £105 up. So that's up to you just to pay fairly, all right? Have a bet, gamble fairly. Don't forget, if you're under 18, don't bet. If your head is in the clouds, don't bet if you've got problems. And if you're drunk, don't bet and do not go chasing your money. This week's fancy, and I've had it checked out by the Gosdens, believe me. Got a bit of a contact there. He loves the favourites, does Lee. He's not into big ones. He loves the favourite. He's gone to Israr, ISRAR, the 305 at York tomorrow. He is a favourite man. He's about 13-8. Gosdens is well fancied. I think you can have a bit of a good shilling on this. I never told you so, okay? So that's tomorrow. 305 at York, ISRAR, Gosden horse. Top trainer. Right, what else we got? We've done that, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. That's all the sport at the moment. What we're going to do, don't forget we've got the charity auction. It's going to be August. I keep saying it was going to be middle of July, middle of August. I think we're going to go August because I will not let you see the items, I'll tell you, until I've got them. Now, I've brought 3 with me today, okay? These 3 items are from my good pal Ian from Sheffield Wednesday. He goes home away, he goes to England home and away. He's at the game tonight, away to Malta. Then he's at home against North Macedonia on Monday night. England European qualifiers, okay? Look at that. Number 1 in the world, Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan, signed photo and frames, and authenticity. That's the main one. And don't forget, I've got a Rocket Ronnie O'Sullivan signed cue from my mate Tony, okay? I've got that as well. 2 fantastic items. Another item we got. Number 1, Frankie Dettori, Italian jockey. There's nobody bigger than him. Gosden's, he's been there, he's done it, he's bought the T-shirt, as you can see, signed on there, and there, authenticity, all from Ian. What a darling. At home, he's got Maradona, George Best, everything. He's got a big room with all, basically, sports and memorabilia. Last but not least, his wife, Jo, works in the National Health Service in Sheffield, and her very good friend is Kyle Walker's mum, and he got me a shirt many, many, many moons ago. So, back to 2013, look at that. England shirt signed by, as it says, Kyle Walker, Danny Warbeck, Jermaine Defoe, Tom Cleverley, and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. And there's a letter in there stating where it's come from. Another one that you can bid for that. Tim is going to be putting all these collectively next week, and I will give you a nice what to do. You've got to give your phone number, your email, and so on. So it's all going to be done properly, all for a legitimate company called FACT, Fighting Against Cancer in Tenerife. And don't forget, on top of that, they've got a do next Saturday, which I'll be there up at the Sunset Bay in the square, and they want me to do a little 5-10 minute speech, tell them about my show, and tell them about the money that we're going to raise for them for obviously in August. They got 200 volunteers, phenomenal. They do it for nothing, all in their back pockets, drive people who've got cancer to the Candelaria and back every single day. So that is absolutely fantastic. Before we finish the show, next week's show, we've got Ian Allison, ex-Arsenal, Colchester, Hall of Fame, Luton Town. It's a question and answers. He's on the show next week with a couple more friends of mine. They're going to pop in and pop out for 10 minutes. So we're going to have a cracking show next week. As good as today, hopefully, may even be better. Who knows? But as the subscribers gets bigger and the watch hours, this show is going places. So if you haven't subscribed, just go to Webby Sports Roundup. You'll see the note at the bottom left-hand corner down there. It says subscribe. Press it and you're in. Notifications. If you like what you hear and you like what you see, subscribe. It's all for free. It's as simple as that. So all I'm going to say now is thanks everybody. Thanks to my man Terry, who's my number 2. I said what he does is nobody's business. Thank you for Tim living with MS in Tenerife, and to his good lady wife Christine. If you want, what's all this? Hang on, no, listen, Tim. Oh yeah, Monte Cristo. Yeah, I think Monte Cristo's up here. I think you can see. Can you see Monte Cristo? I'm always here on a Friday night with obviously Tim. Tim's on here between 6 till 7. My show's 7 till 8 o'clock. Any questions that you want to put to me, it's a premiere, I think Tim says, and I'll be on there. Okay. So what I'm going to say is, subscribe. Tony Fogarty, get you sorted over in Mallorca. Enjoy it. Have a great week, everybody, and hope you enjoyed the show today. You take care. From me, Webby, in sunny Tenerife. Bye for all.